Mia, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, I'm very well, thank you. And you're from Amsterdam originally,
Yes, I am.
and you describe yourself as a pop artist, but you said something before, which was a
Attitude pop.
attitude
Yeah.
pop artist. Talk to me about attitude pop.
Okay, well, I kind of a year ago, I was living in London
Mm,
and I was kind of trying to figure out who am I as a person and how
mm,
can I put that in music. So I just like literally had a friend help me out writing down a bunch of post-its and I wrote down and one of them was attitude. And that kind of stick with me, and then I did a gig and I played three songs, which two were very ballady and slow
mm,
and one had a lot of attitude, and everyone afterwards was like, wow, that's when you really aligned with yourself and we could really
mm,
feel that we were watching you. And then the next day I was like, okay, attitude pop. And
mm.
I just like was like, cool, that's
You have
also,
forged a new genre.
yeah,
Okay,
hopefully
cool.
now, yeah.
And that feels like a good fit to you. This attitude
Yes.
pop. And like, how does that translate to your lyrics and your content? Like, how does that like? Is
Yeah,
it?
it translates.
I kind of in my mind I go, is
Yeah.
it protest songs? Is it what is it?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes. A lot of the times it'll be like a protest song to like an ex or something. You know, like ah, you.
Yeah.
Sorry for my language. But it'll be like, you know, there's this one song that it's not finished yet or anything,
Yeah.
but it's actually called Whipped.
Yeah.
And it's about like when if you want to get back with me, then you're the one this time who's gonna get whipped.
Yeah.
It has like a lot of attitude to it.
Yeah.
So in that way, but also about just attitude in the sense that it has just real meaning, like that it's raw, that it's real. I'll sing about maybe even mental health or something like that, which I think you need a bit of an attitude to do that.
Yeah.
And it just means a bit like I kind of purposely want to stand out, I guess, in a way.
One of the stereotypical pop elements in my mind, and it's refreshing to hear you say what you've just said. Quite a lot of shallow content, and sometimes it's almost just phrases and words
Yeah.
put together that just happen to have the right feel. It's more about the feel. It's not about the narrative.
Yeah.
So it's actually really refreshing to go. You've thought about what your songs are actually trying to say, and you're musically aligning message and music.
Yeah.
And I think that there's so much power in that. So it's awesome to hear you thinking along those lines as a pop artist. I think that is actually would really help you with longevity in your career.
Hopefully.
Because songs can really attach and become part of people.
Yeah.
Because it's the first gear to get a catchy melody into someone's mind as the listener. That's the first gear. And that'll stick with someone for a while. And when it's on the radio, they'll sing along. But it's the second gear and the third gear where the content and the message. And if you get that song and they relate to it at that point in their life, they will carry that forward for good. I think that's awesome. That's really important.
Yeah.
So you work with a lot of different producers.
Uh-huh.
And how do you, one, get a continuity about yourself as an artist when you're working with different producers that just have their own
opinion
way of putting songs together, and they're trying to steer it in a certain way, and maybe you're like, okay, well, hang on, I know what feels right for me. How does that work with?
That's, to be honest, a struggle sometimes. I always do my talk again. Like I always start, okay, this is attitude pop for me. These are the keywords that are for it. Like for instance, a bit of darkness, a bit of moodiness, but also, it definitely is pop. So it has that, and I love drums that sound a bit different.
Yep.
I love it when there's just elements that are not poppy in the song, or I'm like in love with Spanish guitar. That's just like my favorite instrument. So I love using that as well. And it's definitely tough. And more so recently, I've really, over the last 2 months, really, really gotten more into, okay, I don't want that sound. So just let's not go there. And it's hard to find people that hear what I'm hearing when I explain to them my story, because also that it's like explaining air, and then everybody has a different view on what air means. So most of the time, I think I have a lot of songs that 50% I'm proud of and 50% maybe they're proud of, if that makes any sense. So at this moment in time, I'm thinking of two things. I'm thinking of starting to learn production myself, so I don't struggle as much with, having to explain what I'm hearing musically.
Yep.
And the other thing is just being a little bit more critical on who I work with.
Yeah.
And just decide, okay, that person, yeah, that person, no.
Yeah.
To make it easier.
Yeah, fair enough. And what would be like the right sort of environment for you to be productive? Like, is it on a tram, listening back to demos of yourself? Is it, you know, sitting by a lake? Is it calm? Is it quiet? Or is it busy that actually inspires you to create, you know, new melodies, new lyrics, new songs, concepts?
I think busy.
Okay.
Yeah. I think when I lived in London or when I was in New York, I would have ideas pop up like this a lot. Yep. I notice it when I go for a walk or do something with energy that I get a lot of ideas.
Yep.
Every time I'm in the studio around an instrument, I'll get inspiration.
Yep.
No matter if it's calm or not calm. That's another thing. I would say. Also, if I'm working with people that are very, very energetic.
Yep.
It'll be bouncing off ideas of each other.
Yeah.
So I think it's energy for me, attitude.
And circling back to the producers, how do you connect with different producers? Is it
how do I find them?
Reputation